Mm. Hello, hello. There it is. Now, can you hear me and see my screen? Hey, yes, all good. All right, thank you. So, hi, Chandru. Hi, Bob, Sven, Boyd, Salman, Diane, um, Kaylin. Yes, of course, we can talk about that. Hello, Chris, Joseph, Alex, Sven, Chen. Hello, guys. So, first, I need a favor from you. Hey, Andy, how are you? I need a favor from you. Hello, Barbara. Welcome to our live trade review with Neto, Barbarita. Uh, for all of you who don't know, I have two online friends that they are from my hometown. Uh, it's Alejandro Treviño and Barbara FC. They are from my hometown. So very excited to have you guys here. I'm gonna be in Monterrey next week. So I already set something with Alex. So, but Barbara, if you want to join us or something, it will be great. A coffee or I don't know, like something on the afternoon. Just let me know and we can figure out something. So I want to ask you a favor, guys. I want to ask you a favor. We are this close to have 300 subscribe members to the channel. So if you haven't in the past, please take a second, click like for this video and subscribe to this channel. I mean, I'm not doing this out of our community, but I mean, the more people we have, the more people we can impact. So that would be great if you can just like the video, subscribe to the channel. That's gonna be awesome. All right. So hey Gabriel, how you doing? So all right, guys. So let's start with Apple. Do you remember what I say about Apple every day? Don't trust Apple. Okay, so Apple did absolutely nothing during the morning. Absolutely nothing. I mean, it's not like bad price action. No, no, no. It's not bad price action. This is ugly trash price action inside of a. Look at this. I mean, this is a stock in a $1 range for hours, and suddenly on the afternoon, out of nowhere, because it's absolutely out of nowhere. I mean, the indices were still in a range. Absolutely out of nowhere, it pumps. So okay, so that's just pushing my idea. Don't trust Apple. So okay, so I don't have anything to say about Apple for being honest. I mean, even when it was like retesting some of our key levels here, I mean, it was struggling on this daily gap. It came here, retested this pre-market low, but as you can see, it was actually with lower highs here, lower highs on pre-market, lower highs on on market hours, lower highs later in the morning, and finally it touches here pre-market low and start its way higher. Why? I don't know. But I mean, this is absolutely trash. I mean, it was late on the day. It was around noon. Yeah, something like 11:40 or something like that. So you should not be trading that time. You should not be trading that time unless you have a proven edge with a proven strategy that actually works midday. All right, because if you are trading the break and retest that we preach on our community, you know the drill. It works pretty much between 9:30 and 11 in the morning Eastern time. So we use the momentum of the market open first 90 minutes on the market. So just please try to stick to that. All right. Anyone tried something with Apple? I mean, we don't judge. We don't judge. If you tried something on Apple, just let us know. We can look at it on the chart. And that was funny. All right. I'm sorry, Chen. You know what? This is something I was actually talking yesterday with a friend because he was he's he's Portuguese living here in Texas, and we were talking and we were saying like you know I wonder if you know how fun I am in my native language, how fun I am in Spanish. So we were saying that we have two different personalities, right? Like my native language personality and my second language personality, and I'm way funnier in Spanish. So my strategy to try to like blend these two personalities is to start like trying to be this fun in English. So in some time on my life, I will be as fun in English and in Spanish. All right. Well, that's just personal life experience sharing. So that happens to anyone here. I mean, anyone who speaks two different languages, like you have two different personalities, and not not in the bad way, like the psycho way. It's just, I mean, you express yourself better and easier in your native language, and your second language is like you are like thinking much and all right. Okay, okay. Well, okay. So no one had anything, and no one tried anything in Apple. Congrats, guys. I mean, you are already looking at the same thing that we are. Okay. Um, Alex, Alma, yeah, Barbara, same. And I don't feel like I can explain myself the way I did in Spanish. Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. All right. Okay, so let's go to the next one. AMD. AMD was kind of weird. I mean, the past few days, the microchips have been leading the way for the market. AMD and Nvidia they have been pumping a lot on the past days, and this morning it was not the exception. So we have this break and retest of this 1 minute opening range, that it was also as you can see here, the daily gap was so tight here. So we open at 111.90 and previous day close it's this 112.05. So the actual daily gap was like super small, very tight here. But we had this break and retest of the 1 minute opening range right in the middle of the daily gap. So I know this is, I mean, this is not like the best of the displacements on this key level. However, I want you to show you what was happening on the indices. Indices were going nuts right here. They were breaking the 5 minute opening range. QQQ was actually breaking the pre-market high. They were pumping so hard to the higher part of the chart. So this was a nice opportunity. What happened here? Well, it ran out of fuel here. However, if you were aiming to this 112.58, that's a key level. Oh, let me show you here. I like to show you my key levels. Uh, let me tell you something. This weekend, I'm gonna record for you uh, a very brief and short workshop about how I draw my key levels. It's not gonna be super extensive. It's not gonna be like a master class or something like that. It's just a quick and brief workshop. I mean, as you can see, I use like very obvious and visual key levels on the 15-minute chart. And my blue lines are the previous highs and lows on the daily for the daily candle. So I mean, there's not too much to explain here. There's not too much to explain here. However, there's a lot of people like, hey Neto, how do you draw your 15-minute chart key level? So I'm gonna try to explain a little bit. So I'm gonna record it on the weekend, and so probably it's gonna be ready for next Tuesday. So that's another thing that I want to tell you. I'm gonna repeat it at the end, but next Monday, this Monday, May the 26th, is Memorial Day. So that we on the United States we don't have stock market exchange or banks. So it's a holiday for the United States, and there's not gonna be anything on the market. So we are gonna have a long weekend. Yay! So just try to take advantage of that time for journaling, read, finding your strategy, learn from your previous trades. Try to identify your best winners, your best losers, and also your worst winners and your worst losers. I'm gonna talk a lot about it tomorrow and on the weekend. So if you are subscribed to the channel, you will receive notifications about these videos. And I mean, you can take a look to them, and I love when you give me feedback about the content we share here. All right, so AMD, this is I had this 112.58 key level. So as you can see here, this actually can come all the way to here. Okay, so this is a very obvious key level on the 15-minute chart. I mean, this is Tuesday. This is the level of support on the drop this morning, that morning. And then later in the day, I mean, we were around that key level. Then yesterday, Wednesday, that was support to resistance, and today it worked as resistance. Today it worked as resistance, and actually several times, as you can see here. Probably this is gonna be, again, this is gonna be kind of obvious this morning, but you can actually draw a trend line here, and well, what do you know? That's the trend line. It's a struggling AMD. All right. So this was the only opportunity that I was watching here according to our playbook, right? So we are trading with the trend. So once we have a clear direction on the indices, we try to choose a tech name that is actually moving on the same direction, and then the ones with the relative strength or weakness. And then we try to, visually compare if they have similar key levels. So when we broke this 1 minute opening range and retested what was happening here, well, QQQ was actually retesting pre-market high, and SPY was retesting this 5 minute opening range. So that's the kind of context I want you to start identifying. I know it's different because this is the 1 minute opening range, and QQQ has the pre-market high, but SPY is with the 5 minute opening range. But what I want you to notice is how the market structure remains, how the market structure is important here for your context. Because I mean, you cannot just mirror the indexes or the indices and the tech names, but if you can just visually compare, you will see that once the indices start pulling back, retesting some of the key levels, well, usually the tech names do the same thing. And if it's on the key level, well, that's your reference for comparison, right? So Joseph, I shorted AMD 939. Well, 939, it's very early in the morning. So you did 939. You shorted AMD 939, dude. I mean, I mean, for what you want, for what you try to do, I would like something like, okay, well, it's you know, it's trying here, it's doing something like this. I understand what you tried, but I would like to break this previous day low. Look, this is previous day low, 111.09. Break previous day low, retest here, or retest pre-market low, and then continuation to the downside. So that will be a good thing to do if this name was showing weakness, and if the indices were showing weakness, that they didn't, not the name, not the indices. So I mean, what you were trying to do here, Joseph. Ale, Neto, do you retest of the 5 minute open? 9:39. Uh, I don't know, Joseph. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I mean, this 9:39, it's not even well, you say like these retest here. Well, if you were trying to do that, Joseph, with this break and retest strategy, what you want here, it's a clear break of this 5 minute opening range. Displacement. So what does displacement mean? If you want to watch a video about displacement, please tag me on the Discord, and I will share a video about displacement on the break and retest. But basically, is you want to see visual separation from this key level here. So this is a immediate retest, and yes, it can work, but what you want to see is something like this. So now you broke, and here is a retest, and you wait for the reaction here. So if you want to do this 5 minute opening range break and retest, you need to wait for this break that happened here, displacement here, retest here, and then continuation. This is market structure. It will create lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, and then lower lows, and that will be a nice play. But this that you tried here, this is immediate retest, and I mean, this is super aggressive, and I will understand if there's a lot of weakness on the name, but it's not. And also on the indices, I mean, they were not that weak for taking this aggressive entry, right? And that's I mean, that's honest, and good intended feedback. Neto, do you normally only use daily levels as profit targets and 15-minute levels for entry? Well, what I try to do, Ale, it's when I'm aiming for my main objectives, or my profit targets, I try to use external liquidity. So everything here, the 5 minute opening range, the 1 minute opening range, pre-market high, pre-market low, that's all internal liquidity. So I like to use internal liquidity for my entries, and then look for external liquidity for my exits. So I would like to see just what we were saying here, break and retest of this 5 minute opening range, internal liquidity, and then look for maybe this is external liquidity, this 109. So that will be my nicest play, right? Like using internal liquidity but aiming to external liquidity. Is it clear? Is it clear? I can do it better in Spanish. uh, all right, all right. Andy, my worst loser is Apple. Yeah, well, just Andy, I want you to do this on over the weekend. I want you to journal your trades on Apple, and try to identify what happened. If you took an early entry, if you didn't manage your trade according to your plan, if price didn't have continuation, if there was a fake or a faith about the price move. I want you to identify what happened with Apple, because I can tell you what I think about Apple, but it's until you start looking and watching it and identifying why it's not following the indices, why it's not like a reliable thing to do, until you rewire and refine and reshape your strategy or your edge. So I want you to take a look to your Apple trades and let me know your findings next week. All right. um Joseph. Okay, well, all right. Okay, so that's the only thing that I watched today on AMD. Then we came here. It was actually doing lower lows, lower highs here, lower lows again, lower highs. And this is a change of character here. This is the change of character here. So this is something I will believe. This is something I will believe. This reclaim of the 1 minute opening range at the 5 minute opening range, then the retest here. And what was happening on the indices? Okay, so let me go to the. Well, I don't like I don't like the hour. It's 11:12 here, but I want you to show you. So here it's like the break and retest of the 1 minute opening range, previous day close above today's open, and here what was happening on the indices here. They were they were trying to keep up the way up. They were trying to keep up the way up, but they failed, and here this failed. Uh, so the reason I wouldn't take this trade here is because it's outside of my trading time, my trading window. But also, I mean, the indices were recovering from this drop here, and on SPY it was a little bit more aggressive than in QQQ, but I mean, they were trying to recover here, so you needed strong price action, like something more aggressive to the upside. You didn't have it. So I mean, this I will understand if someone like, oh, okay, well, this is a nice retest here, probably I will take it. Yeah, but I mean, you need more context for this. All right. Ale 1036 entry AMD 1036 1036 1036 6 6 to the downside of daily gap. Well, actually, I like it. Actually, I like it here. So 1036 here. So we have this break and retest of this daily gap here. So let's say you open your position here. Your risk was at the top of these candles that retested the daily gap. And I mean, your first target here will be pre-market low, but it's only 1 to 1.6, and your target will need to be previous day low here, and it didn't work, Ale, but I understand what you were trying to do here. And as you can see, that was a lower high on the indices, and indices were pushing down, and they tried, but AMD was holding here this pre-market low. So I understand the play you tried here, but this didn't work. But that was a nice one. All right. So let's go to the next one. Amazon. What happened to Amazon? 200 level, 200 key level. Is it important or what? Jeff Bezos have half of his fortune here between 199 and 200. He said that he has billions of shares to sell, and the last time he sold his shares, we spent weeks, complete weeks, on this 200 key level to actually break. I think we spent like 3 weeks because that was a brick wall. But it was awesome. It was awesome. Mm. Sorry for the break. Um, so okay, so we had this break and retest of this 201.85. I want to show you what this 201.85 is. All right. What can you tell me about this key level? Is it obvious or what? Guys, is it obvious or what? It's resistance, resistance, then break, break, resistance, 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 resistance. Is it obvious or what? I entered Amazon at the close of 956. Right. 956. Yeah. It's this exact trade, right? So you were aiming, well, you were using internal liquidity, this 15-minute chart key level, and you were aiming external liquidity, previous day high. So this rings a bell, Ale? So you are using internal liquidity for your entries, and you are using external liquidity for your profit targets. Boy, I bought some shares at Amazon 200. Yeah, that's the sweet spot. I think that's a good spot. I also had shares on the 200 key level, but the previous time, not this one. I mean, right now I'm kind of poor on my bank account. It's everything on the stock market. So let's pray it goes higher on the next weeks. Um, so this is the same. This is the same trade than Chris. So it's this break and retest of this 201.85, and what was happening on the indices. I want to show you here. 956 break and retest and breakout on the pre-market high, and 956 here, break and retest, 5-minute opening range, and pump higher here. So that's the context I was looking for this Amazon trade. So if you took this trade, that was a very nice final comp, previous day high. Yeah, previous day high. So you use internal liquidity for your entries, 1 minute, 5-minute opening range, or the 15-minute chart key levels, and you are aiming for external liquidity, previous day high. That was a very that was a very good one. Perfect coincidence with the indices, yes. Yes. And this is exactly what I want you to start. You know, I understand, really, guys. I understand this is not an easy thing. I mean, having 3 different charts. I mean, I do have a huge monitor. Okay, well, that will be easier for me. If you are looking at your charts only in your laptop or only on your tablet or iPad, or even worse, if you are just looking at your charts on your phone, I know it's super hard to start to compare your price action on your tech name with the indices, but this is something that you need to start to do, right? Okay, well, what is happening on my tech name? Okay, well, this is pulling back. It will be awesome if this pulls back to this key level. Okay, well, what's happening? Okay, what's happening on the indices? Oh, okay, well, okay, on the indices we are actually breaking out. Okay, well, that's the context I need. All right, so I want you to start looking at the context at least of the indices, and again, you need to start looking at the index that actually moves closer to your names. So this is a question for you, and I have told you a few times on the past weeks. Amazon, which index moves closer? Well, Amazon moves closer to which index? SPY or QQQ? Please type on the chat. I have told you several times in the past weeks. So Amazon looks more like SPY or QQQ, despite being a technology company. Because in my mind, as an investor, it's not a technology company. It's more like, like a uh, distribution wholesale the, company. But I think like half of the revenue of Amazon comes from Amazon Web Services. That's only technology. But on the mind of the investors, it still looks more like the whole market and not just like the technology market. So that's why, yeah, big money company. Yeah, I know. So that's why Amazon usually moves closer to SPY than to QQQ. So if you are following Amazon, I mean, you don't need to start looking at all of the charts or compare to any other names. I like to trade a lot AMD. So I'm usually comparing AMD with Nvidia. So okay, well, what is Nvidia doing? Okay, what is QQQ doing? Okay, what is SPY doing? Okay, so I have a lot of context for my AMD for my AMD trade, but that's not something you need to do with all of the names. So you need to get to know the name you're trading and compare only with whatever is useful for you, and only if you are looking for context on the indices. Because if you are just trading intraday price action on your tech name, I mean, you don't need to compare anything. But this is a strong recommendation. You should be using more context to increase your win rate, to increase probabilities of your trades to actually work. But that's just a recommendation. All right, Neto, can you sometime talk about how you choose a setup between those that appear? Do you think any setup that you see? Yeah, yeah. I mean, Ale, I use the playbook that I repeat every day. That's what I use. Today I took a Tesla trade. I'm gonna show you in a minute, but I mean, I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything different for my trading than I'm telling you on this session. So first, I wait 10 to 15 minutes, at least 10 or 15 minutes, to identify a clear trend or direction on the indices. Then I go to my watch list and I start looking to the names that are moving on the same direction. So that's key. I don't fight the trend. I trade with the trend. So once I identify the names that are moving on the same direction than the indices, I go and look for the one with relative strength or relative weakness. And then I look for the similar visual key levels on my chart and the indices. And that's how I choose what key level to use for my entries. But that's pretty much my process. And I don't use VWAP, I don't use EMAs, I don't use SMAs. I try to use a higher time frame thesis from my pre-market prep. Uh, but I mean, if price is looking weak, I don't care. I mean, I'm always willing to scalp something. So that's why I have a lot of, well, not a lot, but that's why I have some of the 15-minute chart key levels. Because even if the name on the higher time frame is moving in one direction, if it shows strong or weak price action, or relative strong or relative weak price action, at the moment I can take a trade to the opposite direction than the higher time frame. So perfect setup is a setup appearing at the same time on both ticker and indices like Amazon today. Exactly, that's my A plus setup for me. All right. So later on the day we had this retest of the same key level, and look at this. What was happening on the indices? This is the context. I wouldn't take this trade here, right? Why? Because on the indices, yes, they were having a reaction, but where? Lower on the range. Lower on the range. So if look at this. If I see this reaction here and this reaction on the indices, what I will say, okay, well, if indices make a change of character as they did here, then I will take a trade to the upside here. I mean, wherever they do this change of character, right? So probably, well, this was out of my trading time, but I want you to start looking at this. I want you to start looking at this. I mean, this point here, what is it doing? Well, it's actually doing a higher low here. So now we are on a change of character, and here this is a higher high, and here, well, it's an equal low. So probably, and this is just probably, uh, this may start ranging here, right? But what happened here? Higher low. So what was expected here? Higher high. All right. So that's the market structure you are looking on the indices, and it's helping you to identify opportunities here. So question for you guys, question for you. What would be the best entry here for Amazon? This 1120 or this 1132, and why? Come on, guys. I need at least 3 answers on the chat. Short answers. Don't try to. 1132. Why, Joseph? Talk to me. Come on, guys. Come on. Short answers. Short answers. I want you thinking about this. I want you thinking about this. Well, we just said if it's holding here and it's creating kind of a new range here. So here, 132, we will be expecting at least going to the top of the range. So here, it's a better entry than this 120, right? 1132, higher low on Amazon, exactly. After change of character, exactly. Strong price action or stronger price action, yes. All right. Okay, so now we are all on the same page. Okay. All right. Let me know on the chat if you like that I ask questions, or you just want to see the chart and look at the trying to spot opportunities. But if you like to be asked about this context, about how indices are showing context, all right. Yeah, well, thank you. Well, if you ever are bored about my questions and oh well, these guys, it's like my junior high teacher. uh, just remember, this can make you a lot of money. All right, all right, okay. All right, thank you. I know this is different than our previous Zoom sessions, and I mean on the Zoom, I just unmute people, and I don't know if we can do that here on YouTube. But anyways, I mean it's always nice if you just interact with me on the chat. All right, Neto Talk Show. All right. Okay. All right, guys. So let's go to the next one. Well, just here again, it's outside of my trading window. It's not on my playbook. But this is a change of character on Amazon. This is second chance holding a key level, previous week low, pre-market high. So this is holding a nice key level here, and indices were doing the same. So I will be expecting, because we have higher lows here on the indices, that at least we go to the top of this range, but here we actually created a higher high. So it just was a matter of time to go to key levels here. And well, here my main objective will be this external liquidity, previous day high, but here it actually went all the way to 204. And why 204 it's important? Round number. I'm not sure if it's a strike number. I think it's not. I mean, round numbers are very important all the time. All right. So let's go to NVIDIA. And this was a super nice trade today. I watched some of you guys took this trade. So we have this break and retest of several key levels here. So this is the 1 minute, 5 minute opening range. This is an order block here. And also this 132.81. 132.81. What's happening here? So is it an important key level here? Actually, if I extend this key level, it's a key level from Tuesday, key level for Wednesday. It was support turned resistance on the pre-market. So once we reclaim this, you can be a little bit aggressive, right? So here, this is the break and retest of this key level here. And as I was telling you, this is an order block here, 1 minute opening range, 15-minute chart key level. So if you open your position here on the pre-market high, or even higher, let's say here, you have your risk at the bottom of the order block, and you were aiming to the next key level. What was the next key level? Well, this support on the 15-minute chart, and it was support, turn resistance, turn support. Yesterday, support, resistance. So these key levels are, these key levels are really easy to spot, right? They are really easy to spot. So that's one of my recommendations when you are drawing key levels. Don't get too technical with this sense. It needs to be very obvious on the chart. If you start having doubts, if you are hesitating about a key level, go to the next time frame. If you are like, oh well, I don't know, this level looks fine on the 15-minute chart, but I don't know, is it good? Is it not that good? Go to the 1 hour chart. Go to the 4 hour chart. So it needs to be very obvious for you. Why? Because that's what you are looking. The stronger levels where price interacted, right? And you don't need to go back too many days. You just go back for a few days, and that will be enough. All right. Okay. So this is a break and retest of this key level, order block, 1 minute opening range, reclaim of pre-market high. So if you open your position here, we were saying risk at the bottom of this order block, and you were aiming to the next 15-minute chart key level. This is a 1 to 3.6 risk reward ratio trade, and you had several opportunities to take your contracts out. Actually, look at this. In 2 candles, you had 1 to 2.5. So probably you trim something here, and you were 80% out of your position here on this next key level, and probably around here 133.40 you cut your position. I mean, or maybe break even on the rest of your runners. Um, Very few displacement on today's place. Yeah, it has been ugly these past days and weeks, Alex. Yeah, I was I was I was trying to yeah I was trying. I had a loss today, and I had a winner and a loser. And when I was journaling this morning, I was like trying to express myself in my second language, and I was typing market is irrational to the language of my strategy right now. Why? Because we are not having continuations. We are having uh, sharp drops. And is this kind of a 84% rule? Can I say? Yeah, you can always ask questions. Uh, is it an 84% rule? Why? No, this is the actual this is the first like break and retest of this key level. I mean, here you can see here you have a strong rejection for the pre-market high and this key level. So strong rejection here. So there was never a first chance here. Uh, yeah, shoot your question, DM. Second chances here on Nvidia. Well, I think this key level here was holding a lot while yeah, while QQQ was holding this 5 minute opening range. And even when this drop happened, look at the very small drop on Nvidia. It actually held really nice, and then it had a nice recovery here. The same thing here with the SPY. It was around this daily gap between the 1 minute opening range. But I mean, I think it's a little bit clearer here on QQQ. It was holding this 5 minute opening range. Um, Dian, actually, I already answered your question. Okay. Based on what Nvidia is at now, would you look at a call for 134? I I think I don't. You know, well, no, I'm gonna take back that answer. I'm gonna take back that answer. My answer will be that I don't have the edge for this time of the day to tell you what will be happening here. So I first I will go at least to the 5 minute chart, and if you are watching this, I mean, this is a lower high. So depending on what these candles start doing in the next on the next candles here, I mean, if you can actually make a higher high, that will be your play. But if you can't, also watch out with this, right? Yeah, I wouldn't dare to give you a recommendation of entering a trade at this time of the day, right? Joseph, where's the displacement? Well, displacement is here. This is a small displacement. As you can see, it breaks this key level here. This is the displacement. Then this is the retest. Then this is a retest. Yes, it's a small displacement, but look at the indices. Again, when the indices are pushing higher or pushing lower, breaking out of the range, you can be a little bit more aggressive with your entries. All right. So here I will be expecting to move higher because the indices already broke this 5 minute opening range, and they were looking like, okay, well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 candles to the upside, so it's actually moving with some momentum here. So this pullback here is just, it's just a stone on the way, but it's pushing higher. That's why I will, like, take a more aggressive entry here to the upside, because the indices are moving, are moving higher. So that's why I will take a little bit more aggressive entry here. All right. Uh, okay. So that's the only chance that I watch here. I mean, this is just consolidation on the indices. Can you see here? This is actually consolidation on the indices. Yes, I mean, there's this retest and holding this key level here, but because the indices had this drop and they were consolidating here, I needed a break of this range, of this new range, to actually start taking in consideration any other opportunity here, right? Okay, so Tesla. Anyone has before moving to Tesla, anyone have uh, another question about the Nvidia? If not, okay, let's move to Tesla. Oh, okay, give me 1 second. All right. Okay, so Tesla. All right, so on Tesla, I watched different things. As you can see here, Tesla opened a little bit stronger than the indices. Yeah, it moved a little, like some looking like SPY here. But this is the first thing that I like. All right. So this is the break and retest of previous day close. Previous day close here. This previous day close. And it moves nicely to the upside here. Reclaims 5 minute opening range. And what was happening with the indices? They were holding this key level. Oh, well, okay. I think this is worth to take a look here. Okay. So this, I'm going to the daily chart. This is the daily chart, guys. This 582.19, can you see why it's a different color key level? So multiple touches on the daily chart, multiple touches on the daily chart, previous pivot level, and then QQQ, multiple touches on the daily chart, multiple touches on the daily chart, previous pivot here, previous pivot here. That's why it's in a different color. These lines, these orange lines, are like the blue ones, just with several touches on the daily chart. So this is external liquidity. Okay, this is external liquidity. This is key level on the daily chart. So this is key level on the daily chart. So this is something that I was liking. So SPY and QQQ holding this key level, holding this key level. So again, I know sometimes it's hard to have so many things in context. I know it's hard, but well, I mean, if you are here trading because you think trading is easy, my friend, I have some news for you. this this is not gonna be easy. This is not gonna be easy. All right. So this could be uh, the most rewarding job or skill on the world, financially speaking. But it's gonna take a lot from you. So if you think trading could be easy. It's not. It's simple. Yes, it's simple, but it's not easy. So you need to start having in consideration these kind of things, guys. So when you go to your charts, again, go first to your daily chart. Go first to your daily chart. Start drawing your levels there, but also, context, even on the daily chart, context, if you have a key level like this with several touches, well, that's something that you need to have in consideration, right? So today, both indices, they were holding this nice key level on the daily chart. So what does that mean for me? That means that it could go higher. So we had this push high on Tesla, retest of this previous day close, and what was happening on the indices? They were pushing higher. They were holding that key level, and then they started pushing higher. So if you take your position here on this reclaim of the 5-minute opening range, and you had your risk right at the bottom of these candles here, and you were aiming, let's say, why is this aiming here? Well, if you were aiming to pre-market high, that's almost 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade. But you should be looking 339 at least. Yeah, 339 at least. This is a 1 to 2.9. If you were looking for the next 15-minute chart key level, this is a 1 to 3.5 risk reward ratio trade. Hey Neto, I totally missed that first entry. Is there another entry here? Well, I think they are. Here we have, did you watch the video about the one candle? Ale trading is the worst thing I've been doing in my life. I know. uh, Guys, did you see the video about the one candle strategy? Well, the one candle strategy is actually the order blocks, right? So on this way up, on this uptrend, we have this one candle, down close candle, moving the price to the downside. So this is an order block here. So we have this break and retest of this order block here. Again, I know this is a small displacement, but guys, this is going higher and higher and higher aggressively. Can you see what was happening on the indices right here? They were pushing higher on those look at this. This could be, yeah. They were pushing higher on those order blocks. They were pushing higher on those order blocks. So if you were planning something like this, well, you could be aiming to this 242.33. This was a 1 to 2.9 risk reward ratio trade. And yes, look at this. This is and this is not coincidence. Actually, I wanted to talk to you about this because this was this was my trade here. So I opened my position right here on this candle, this 1003 candle. So we already had the PMI news. We already had the 10 a.m. candle. We already had a lot of things, and indices were pushing higher here. So I opened my position right here, 1003 candle. And I had my risk. I had my risk at the bottom of this order block here. And I say, well, I'm not gonna close my trade until a candle closes below my level. And I want to show you, I'm gonna zoom in a lot here. So guys, can you see that there's no, oh, well, here. Here. Can you see, guys, there's no candle closing below my stop loss at the bottom of this candle, my entry candle? Can you see? There's no candle closing. This one actually open below of my level, but they never close below my stop loss. So I was able to hold this. I was able to hold this despite indices dropping. Despite indices dropping. Can you see this this drop here? This drop here is this drop here is the consolidation on Tesla. So I'm not gonna lie, I was very frustrated here. I was very anxious here because this was dancing around my stop loss and the indices were dropping. So I was just like, okay, well, if this candle closes below, I'm gonna close it, and they didn't. Okay, well, if this next candle closes below, I'm gonna close my trade, and they didn't. And the good thing here is that because I managed my risk very well, this was like 12% negative on my contracts. So I know that you were asking the previous day, like, oh, Neto, should I have a fixed stop loss, like 10% or 15% or 20% for my stop loss? So this is a nice example. This is a very nice example of why I don't like to have like a fixed percentage for my stop loss, because there are more times where if you wait for the actual candle closure, you can stay on a trade instead of, like making your loss bigger. So this candle here, this 1016, I was actually very scared because I almost retested the pre-market high. But because the nice reaction on the indices, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold. So let's see what happened here. So here I was very tempted to actually close my trade, but I didn't. And well, it actually worked well. And I'm not gonna lie, I closed most of my position here, and I closed the rest of my position here. I didn't wait for this, but that was okay, because after these drops again, I was just mentally exhausted. But I trimmed like 80% of my trade here, 10% here, and the other something around here. I don't remember, but most of my trade was like, okay, here, this is more than enough. And after this consolidation, I was like, okay, mentally exhausted. And I say, well, no. I just want to go out. Let me go to the Neto. Could you talk about the scaling today? Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. Bought I buy at 946 and sell 950, 946, 946, 946. Here, like this immediate retest of the 5-minute opening range, 946, and you sell 950 here, 952. 958. What a nice trade, dude. What a nice trade. The only thing is, just tell me, please, 946, 946 here. So you bought here. What was your risk here, boy? What was your risk? I mean, where you set your stop loss and say, well, if a candle closes below this, I'm gonna just close my trade. What was your risk here? Can you share that with us? Um, okay, Spain agreed. Chen 1004, 1004, 1004. That was a nice one. That's exactly my trade. But you failed there. You closed. Yeah, you closed it here, right? Like 1016. Um, Good one. Didn't you stop out on the week? of that candle that went below your stop. No, well, that not sure if that was before my explanation, but yeah. So basically, what I do, and this is very common on our community. We have what we call mental stops. So once you define your stop loss level on the underlying, so here on the asset, here on the asset, you just wait for a candle closure below your stop loss. Not the wicks, but the candle closure below your wicks. All right. So this has worked for me. Yeah, this has worked for me more times that it hasn't. All right. So having a mental stop loss has allowed me to stay on trades, on winner trades like today, more than the because I mean it happened, right? Like, oh, okay, well, I had, instead of closing my trade right here 338.73, I no, I don't know, like I closed 338.20, and that's a bigger loss than usual. Yes, but I mean, again, it has worked more times that it hasn't. So that's a very, that's a very common strategy on our community, having these mental stops. All right. Um, yes, Ben, he didn't have a hard stop. Yes. Bob, on those weeks past your stop loss, I mean, it seems like an hour. Yeah. Yeah, I was like biting my nails. Yeah. How much percentage was Tesla trade Neto? I mean, the last contracts here, or well, the first stream here was like 30% or something like that, like 30, yeah, 30 or 35% here, and then these ones were like 15%, and I don't remember the last ones. All of them were in profit, but the most that I squeezed from this, it was like 30 something percent. Ale, would you consider entering off the same setup, 1058, 1058, 1058? I don't. I don't, because what, look, the context on the indices, they were very low. They were dropping for an hour or something. So I wouldn't take this even when they had this very nice reaction here. Right? Actually, it's right here with a circle, because that's a, that was a nice reaction here and also here, but no, I wouldn't take this same trade here. Also, look at this, it was 1058, so that's pretty much on the, I, that's something I told you earlier, well, not today, but on the past days. Usually my trading time, it's waiting at least 10 or 15 minutes for my entry, and my last entry will be 10:45. If I don't have a good setup by 10:45, it's that's the day for me. I don't, I mean, like this, it's okay, well, this is 10:55, 10:56. No, it's already outside of my trading time. um Alex, is it convenient to enter a trade when it's kind of ranging between two order blocks? Well, I will need more context. Like, I mean, do you mean like this? Boys, I always scale too early when it's pops then. Neto, how did you determine that 342.32, 332.42? 342.33. Okay. It's Monday's lows. I'm sorry, Tuesday's lows, last Friday's lows, and it has been like support, turn resistance, then turn support, then turn resistance. So this is a key level on the 15-minute chart. And again, can you see? I mean, I'm I'm completely transparent and honest with you guys. I mean, I'm not paying a lot of attention on my levels. Like, oh well, should it be like a few cents above or below? No, it needs to be very, very evident on the chart. So this one, it's look at this. I mean, this is the actual law of the day. This is actual law of the day. So this is kind of low of the day for Tuesday, huge key level on Wednesday, high of the day on Monday. So this key level has been crucial for several days. Um, Looks to be previous support resistance flips. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Chris. That's exactly the right answer. Neto, can we see Microsoft code? Yes. Give me 1 second. Do you have less confidence in a repeated setup than the original one? Yes. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Like, okay, well, I missed this entry. If I have a second chance here, it needs to be like super obvious that the index is doing the same thing and everything. But here, I mean, you can see this drop like from the first entry here on this order block at the top of the chart to the second entry here. Look where we are on the indices, very low on the range, very low on the range. So that's one of the reasons I will hesitate to take this trade again. um, Alex, I draw 954 candle as an order block. 954, this one. Yeah, well, that, I mean, that's a nice one also. Something like this. Well, it actually worked. Well, actually this worked better, right? I mean, if you took something like here, this actually worked better. Um, and the okay, guys. And what about this last chance here? What do you think about this? I mean, it's a loser, but would you take it? Break of high of the day. Look at this. Break of high of the day. Retest previous high of the day. Order block 340. Well, it's actually 341. Would you take this one here? What was happening on the indices? SPY bouncing out that multi touches daily key level 582. QQQ bouncing on the 5-minute opening range. Would you take this trade here? What do you think? Yes or no? Yes or no on the chat. This is a valid entry here. This is a valid entry here. I think it's okay. Someone else? Our new members, Barbarita, are you still there? Dian, the high of the day is very close. It is, it is. Joseph, no. Why not? Why not, Joseph? Ale, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? I'm going to tell you why not, according to me. I mean, my opinion. We opened 331, all right? 331 was the today's open. And here we are 341. 10 points up. 10 points up. Do you know what the true range is? It's a or the implied move. is? Do you know what it is? Well, probably this is a new concept for many of you. Let me talk about this. The implied move, it's it's kind of the average of how many points in a day a name could move. So I don't know, like for example, spy. I know that spy, the implied move usually it's around 2%. Yeah, that and there's actually a way to calculate with like to the cents, but the implied move it's like 2%. So if we open at 500, the implied move it's how much? Like okay, $10, and so $10 to the upside and $10 to the downside. So if I'm looking spy running to 507 or something like that, I wouldn't expect like a huge move from there because the implied move and that means nothing, right? I mean that's just an average, that's just statistics. I mean it could go to the moon, but the average or the implied move says that okay, well 2%, it's 510. So my expectation of the move will be only $3 on SPY, whatever it pushes or pulls my tech name. So that's a new concept, guys. Look for it. That's something nice to understand, especially when you are trading different names. I mean, is it Tesla usually moving more than 10 points in a day? That's a question for you. Answer to me tomorrow. I would like that. If you come back tomorrow, I would like you to tell me your answer. So for Tesla, is it usual that it moves 10 points in a day? That's your homework, guys. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Microsoft. Someone was asking about Microsoft. Dion, 1027 here. So what you were trying here, Dion, calls or puts or what? Microsoft calls 1027. Yeah, okay. Well, this is the previous day high. This is previous day high, right? Yes, 457.78. What was happening on the indices? Well, they had this huge drop, just the same that Microsoft here, and it was the previous high of the day or the first high of the day, previous previous day high. What was happening on the indices? Well, 1027 you say here. You know what? I will wait for more confirmation because you already have a huge drop here. So maybe I will wait for, I don't know, this is 1027, maybe a second candle here. Let's say something like this. You will be waiting for high of the day and something like this, right? Like, okay, like this. Well, yeah, something like this, the bottom of this candle. So if you waited for a next candle here, coming to this here, like maybe this key level here, or maybe to this candle here, this kind of consolidation here, that's a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade. But here the risk it's just too much because if you are taking your trade here, your risk needs to be at least to the body of this candle here, or let's say to the bottom of this candle. And even if you are trying something like this, well, this is a 1 to 2 reward ratio trade, but I don't know. I would like to wait for more confirmation because this is a heavy drop here on Microsoft, but it's a heavier drop here on the indices, right? So this is your 1027 candle here, but look at this drop. Look at this drop. No reaction. Well, some sort of reaction here on this key level for for um, for QQQ, but it continued to the downside. So I will wait it for more reaction here. And that was the only thing that I watched here. Well, this one was the break and retest of this previous week high. Yeah. Well, this is actually a very nice. This is actually a very nice key level here. Let's go to Microsoft here. It's a 456. 456. Where is it? 456.19. 456.19. Yeah, is this high? 456.19. Yes, is this high? So this is a nice reclaim of the previous week high. Break, nice retest here. Nice retest here. And with the second candle, not just the first, the second candle here, I was aiming to this external liquidity here, risk at the bottom of my retesting candles or this previous week high, and this was a 122.8 risk reward ratio trade. And as you can see, the price action here, probably you didn't even cut your position until here, and this was a 1 to 3.75 risk reward ratio trade. That's the entry that I like. But again, you need context. So if you had this previous week high on your chart, that will be your opportunity here. What was happening on the indices? Just for curious. So what was happening here on the indices? Well, SPY was dancing around 582. That's a multiple touches key level on the daily chart. And QQQ was the same thing on the 513.39, multiple touches key level on the daily chart. So probably this one looks fine. And also what was happening on the pre-market? Well, on the pre-market, it was pushing higher until you have this move here. So this is a move that I like here on Microsoft. Not sure if you found something different. Let me go to the chat. Hey Eileen, you are way funnier in your native language. Yeah, I know. I know. More proper, yeah, like more formal, right? Like more decent people. All right. Okay. So okay, guys. So that will be all for me today. Please, for all of you that join later on the session, I have three homework for you. The first one is like this video and subscribe to the channel. I need to reach the 300 subscribers today. That will be awesome. So that's your first homework. Second homework is remember, you need to tell me tomorrow what is the implied move for Tesla. Implied move for Tesla. Is it $10 a regular move for Tesla? And the third homework was I just forgot. Well, remember next Monday we won't have trade reviews. It's Memorial Day. No banks, no New York Stock Exchange. So we won't have any shares here. But please remember to journal your trades, refine your strategy, look for patterns on your performance, identify your best winners, your best losers. Keep doing that. Identify your worst winners, your worst losers, and take the lessons or the learnings from your mistakes there. and work on them. All right. So guys, no, Eileen, I didn't do Google today. I'm sorry, but I need to leave now. Uh, I promise I'm gonna try to make it faster next days so we can cover more names, but not today. So guys, thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.